Ace Breaker Ultra said I would love to hear your full review of this game.
So I'll give you the couple of lines that I'm thinking about when it comes to this game. So first thing first. Metroid X Fusion, a game made by one
Ace
developer.
Breaker Ultra said if you don't say, it's so cool, then I will think you're lying though.
Oh, I will definitely say that. So, the way I see this ROM hack, first and foremost, this is one of the best ROM hack I've ever played, period. It doesn't, and I played many ROM hacks, didn't finish all of them, and all the ROM hacks I played was from Super Metroid. So this is definitely one of the best ROM hack I've played. When it comes in terms of technical implementations, the way that he implemented the other bosses, the way they made it work, the new abilities that was added to the game, the physics of the game, it's very impressive. The music is very good. Nice little remix here and there of Fusion with a couple of Super Metroid music. That's pretty cool. The level design are very complex. There's a lot of events that happens in the game that you trigger when you pass to a certain area. That makes the game a little bit challenging. The one thing I would say is that this game is definitely not meant for casual players. It's definitely meant for people that already played Super Metroid and speedrun Super Metroid to a certain extent. It doesn't mean you have to have a good time, but if you did speedrun Super Metroid and you're familiar with a couple of tricks like the Mog Ball, the Alcatraz trick, I don't know what they call it, stuff like that, you will be very at home playing this game. But for a casual playthrough, it's a very painful game to play because first thing first, the level design is very complex. It's not really clear where to go and what to do. The player will often feel stuck in the game because of that, and the lack of knowledge of the game and the tricks is going to be a real problem for a casual playthrough. Now, this game is definitely meant for people that speedrun the game, people that do randomizer because of some required tricks to progress. The game itself also has a lot of nod to other Metroid games. Like I see in this game Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and Metroid Zero Mission. Because the last part of the game, it's a stealth type of gameplay. It also has checkpoints, which makes it a little bit more digestible for this section. The section itself is quite hard, but once you know what to do, you can manage. Now, why is it Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, and Zero Mission? So Super Metroid, obviously the physics of the game is mostly Super Metroid. Now, he changed a couple of things to make it feel like you're playing Fusion. But some of the quick events are very similar to what happened in Zero Mission as well, where you get all your power, you lose all your power at the end. You have to sneak around. You got to be careful. You have to have a plan to progress in these sections. Another thing too that makes this ROM hack really cool is the unlocks you get at the end. So if you get, for what I think, if you get most of the items, you get to play these new modes. So super mode, normal mode, hard mode, and omega mode. And each mode offers a different gameplay perspective with your abilities that they give you. For instance, super mode, you get all the abilities you collected in the game except for power bombs, I think. And for Omega, it's a completely different set of abilities, but it's the same set of abilities you get at the end game when you do the stealth mission and you succeed and you get the power suit. But overall, it's a pretty complete ROM hack. The story, now the point that's really sad, I would say, is the story, because the story is trying to be Metroid Fusion and trying to be something else, but that something else, the developer hasn't capitalized on it. Like, he didn't go all the way with the story. Most of the story is told by quick events that happens in the game. Now, the dialogue is pretty interesting, because the dialogue doesn't serve much to offer you a story. It's more of references to other games, jokes, and also mimes from the Metroid community in general. So if I would have to rate this game, I would definitely give this game a 98 out of 100. Now, why I remove 2 points is because of 3 things. I think I should give it a 97 out of 100. So the first point is that zero gravity section where you had to use the grapple hook to lock yourself to the wall and jump and then do it again to get to a certain section. That section, in terms of level design and the game being fun, was not fun. I understand that it comes from randomizers, and I understand it's a very small section. It's basically one room that you have to perform that. But it is really bad level design. Like, really bad. Like, even for a veteran player, having to do that for your hands after everything that you went through in that section is not fun. The second problem is also the plasma boss. The plasma boss, when you kill the boss and you get to battle the core, the hitbox is so garbage that you have to crouch and shoot your missile so that the missile lands in the very center of the core. And that is a problem. That is like a oversight of development for sure. Because all the other cores, you can shoot it standing up, you can shoot it in the air, you can angle and shoot it, and it will work. But this specific core, you cannot. And that is really bad. Really, really bad. And my third point is there is a section in the game where you have to go through spikes to get an upgrade. I understand that this section is to teach the player that after you pass through that section, you will get an upgrade that will prevent him from getting damage from the spikes. But the section is so cramped and so tiny that, let's say you get there in the early game, you will never make it out. You will never make it through because you get hit by the spikes, you're losing HP. You will never progress in that section. So I think that section needs a little bit of refinement and level design to give a bit more space for the player to jump and cross that little tunnel. So these are my grips. These are my negative points when it comes to level design. But for the most part, it was a really great experience, fresh experience. It was something new that I've never seen in other Metroid games. And it felt like a game that can stand on its own. And even if it's a ROM hack, I would have to place this game in my top 10 best Metroid games ever released, for sure, hands down. So in conclusion, it's an amazing game, has great set piece, great power-ups. The level design is well developed for the late game when you get every power-ups and you have to go around to collect items. But some of the level design is really problematic. The late part of the game is very hard to figure out. But once you figure it out, it's quite easy to go through everything. And the fact that the New Game Plus mode gives you 3 other modes to play the game, so Super, Hard, and Omega, is quite amazing. It's a complete package. You get to play a new way. You need to play the game in a new way. You get to challenge yourself with these modes. And for what I've played so far, the Omega mode seems to be completely different in terms of how you route how you're going to route the game, how you're going to go around the game. So very, very great ROM hack. Highly recommended. but I only recommend it to people that have played Super Metroid and at least speedrun it a few times, or at least has some knowledge of how these glitches and exploit of the game works. So yeah, that will be my take on the review of this game. Very great game. I enjoyed it a lot. There was some frustrating parts for sure, but these frustrating parts was only my fault because either I didn't have the knowledge of how to do some stuff, or I couldn't read the map correctly. So most of these frustrations honestly comes from me playing the game, but I think someone that's very familiar with the game will enjoy all these set piece and difficult sections for sure. So yeah, that is my little review in about 10 minutes of the game. Absolutely recommended. I'm absolutely going to finish both Omega version and Super version, and I will do a full review of that with some images, video, set piece to show everything about the game. So yeah, that is my review, my good friend.